it takes all of us to get to something that really is what we need. And let me say this. This here is not a bookstore. This is my first time here. But just having gone around, it's not a bookstore, it's a health store. Every book that I see here are what we need to heal the problems in the mind. Because the problem in the mind, the imbalance in our mind is that we have all of the enemy's opinion in our heads as facts of life, truth, and it's not. But here, you can find out, look at all of this. We have health product, health food, health to take care of your skin, etc., etc. So this is a health store. We're not in a bookstore. Me, that's what I'm observing. That's the way I am. I look at things and I say, the crystals, every crystal has a purpose. If I have blood, what do you call it? I don't remember what. Emeralds will take care of certain things. Certain illnesses can be treated with rubies. Certain illnesses can be treated with crystals. Everything that exists on our planet is medicine, if you know how to use it.
Yes.
So, when you see somebody raising both their hands here, oh, okay. That's the reality. Remember we talked about intention before? Why are you wearing this ring, Bayyinah? I must know. I cannot wear it because everybody's wearing it.
Right.
That's useless if that's why you're wearing it. Why am I wearing onyx? I wear onyx. I started wearing onyx in 2020 when they had their disease around here.
All right now.
Onyx is a stone that repels some of the arms of 5G.
Right.
So the more you use the computer, the more, like when I'm going on my computer, I might put 10 bracelets, I might put 7.
Right.
So I, protect myself. You wear or dress and eat in relationship to your body's needs. But before we go, we've done a lot of talking. Let's be practical. Don't have any place I could put my feet up here, so we'll talk about that a little bit. But let's do something more easily. Yes, your body does. The body does everything on automatic. If we take your lungs, for example, automatically the lungs do this. Okay? But when you do, your lungs do this. The deeper you take a breath, the more you help the lungs to work better. There are all kinds of gestures that we can do to help improve our health on a daily basis. A lot of people, especially since the disease and the vaccine and all of that, a lot of people are just dropping dead with AVC, ACV, the heart problems.
Cardiovascular.
To help your heart, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And then I do the same thing on this.
Yeah.
To help strengthen my lungs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's nothing to do on a daily basis.
And it's free.
Yeah, right. It is free.
Right.
So your health is your responsibility, not the doctor's,
Yes.
not the hospital.
Yes. Yes.
It's your responsibility. You must observe yourself. There is a color that you wear.
That's a good thing.
It makes you sort of dizzy. It makes you unbalanced in some way. You have to observe that. You go to the bathroom. You urinate. You don't need to wait until you have to go to the doctor. You can see something is wrong. It's too thick, it's too dark,
Can't you do it?
it's
early?
too
Or you want your full day?
hot. The temperature of all of this have changed. I need a little of water. Let me change that. I drink enough water. And by the time I go the second time, third time, I can't see what I did there. But if you do nothing, tomorrow morning you get up with a fever. You're running to the
That's
doctor.
where the money spent is.
Everything we do should be health first. And it's our responsibility, nobody else's. Please, take the time. We're gonna take the time and breathe together. Breathing not only regulates your body, it helps clear the mind, it helps your thoughts.
Yes.
It helps you in so many different ways. And the basic breathing exercise we may want to do every day is to go with 4 counts. As you do more, you may do 8 counts, 12 counts, etc., etc. But try to start off with 4 counts. We're gonna breathe in for 4 counts, hold it for 4 counts, and let it out for 4 counts. Let's go. Sit up straight, feet flat on the ground. You need a chair, brother.
If I sit in that chair, I might not be able to get back up.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm sitting on this.
All right. Okay. So, feet flat on the ground, hands on your thighs. Yeah, I know you filming, you people only have one hand. That's all right. We'll take it for this time. Okay, the 2 hands on the thighs. And we're gonna breathe in for 4, hold for 4, and breathe out for 4. Let's go. I'm gonna guide you the first one. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4. Again, this time I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna be guiding you. You guide yourself. And one more. Do yourself a favor. At least 10 times each day. Take the time to help your breathing system. Because the breath, once it's unbalanced, it will bring the circulatory system unbalanced, and it will mess up with a whole lot of other things. Strengthen your heart right here at the elbows.
Thank you.
Strengthen your lungs over here. And look at you improving your health. In the African tradition, there's such thing as self-healing power.
Yes.
It is considered being part of developing power is your ability to keep yourself healthy. Not to run to the doctor, to keep yourself healthy. So we need to really do what needs to be done about that. Unhealthy people cannot build power. See how the relation, remember before we talked about health and justice?
Right.
And now, self-healing power. Can you have power when you're unjust? Even to your own body? If you're unjust to your body, can you be just to me?
Good question.
No.
Okay. So let's work at being healthy. Being healthy is much more than the body functioning properly.
Yes.
It's about having a nation that functions properly. So that's why it's so important for each one of us. If I'm looking continuously at horror films,
Oh, talk about it.
criminal films, they're films of people that cut people and kill people and do blah, 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 blah. If I'm looking at this all the time, what do you think I'm going to be doing? I'm developing. They're producing these films to make it look natural for us to do all kind of horrors to each other. Make more intelligent choices as to what, because your five senses are portals through which you learn and you transmit. So what I see affects me, what I hear affects me, what I think affects me, what I speak or eat affects me. All your senses are there for us to share information, receive information. And if you don't choose the right information, you'll find yourself doing all kind of crazy things and not even understanding why, and not even having really made the choice. And I'm closing with this. How many times we've heard people say, somebody was arrested for having this or that, some kind of crime. And the person, I don't know what came over me. I wasn't. What do you have against this person? Oh, you was there. I had a gun. Okay. Be careful. Feed your eyes the right food. Feed your ears the right foods. Feed your mind the right foods. And I've seen here a lot of good food for the mind. Serve yourself.
So, let's give it up for Bayyinah. Now, we'd really like to open up this conversation, because something that Mama Bayyinah expressed prior to the show is that it's not just about her talking to us, but it's about us giving back, questions, comments, anything. That's where the real lessons begin. That's where the real learning is. I want y'all to just marinate on that, okay? The real lesson. Everything that we've gained and learned and experienced thus far, the real meat of this is coming from the interaction now, the dialogue, the questions and the commentary, okay? That might be the most important part, because one thing Mama Bayyinah always says is you have to question everything, right? In order to know something, you have to question it, you have to dissect it and break it apart and break it down. That means any knowledge we think we know, our belief systems, okay? There's a few things, because I've been taking notes. I always take notes. If you see me typing on the computer, I'm not just, chatting with people. I'm taking notes. This is what I do during my shows, right? And there's a bunch of things that came up, but one thing that I think is really relevant to this topic, something I always say, is the family is the functional unit of civilization, right? The family is the functional unit of community, and community is the functional unit of civilization. And because we're talking about the inner revolution, that means each individual is the functional unit of civilization, of their family, So this right now is about self-development, personal development, how deep are we gonna dig into ourselves in order to pull out the medicine that's needed for our family and for our community and for our civilization, for our collective betterment. We're all melanated people. Yeah, we taught there's many names for us, We're African, we're Caribbean, we're Black American, Native American, all that stuff is just labels, you know what I'm saying? When I look at you, I know you're my brother, you know what I'm saying? I don't need a label, I don't even know where you're from. It doesn't matter, because I know you're my brother when I see you, right? That's the same thing with everybody. We're all reflections of each other anyway. So, one thing I wanna touch on it, maybe Mama Bayyinah can expound on it when we talk about the Haitian Revolution, right? Because there's so much, like I say, just go to YouTube and go to her content and then soak it up. I've been soaking it up for the last few years, and it's transformed me. One thing of many things that she talks about is how the Haitian Revolution, it was a family revolution. It was men, it was women, it was children, babies too, elders. Everybody had a role to play. So for someone to say, oh, I'm too old, or I'm too young, or I got too much to do, or my job, that's malarkey. Okay, use choice language. That's rubbish. You know what I'm saying? That everyone has a role to play, and it goes back to what Mama Bayyinah was saying, intention. What's your intention? Do you want to play that role? Our only limitations are our imagination. So just to start off this dialogue part, Mama Bayyinah, could you just even speak on that? The importance of each individual in the revolution.
Well, we've spoken a long time. They have to be just. They have to have an opportunity to express themselves.
Okay, so who's the first who wants to speak on that? Who wants to say something about that? Our brother in the front, we'll get you next.
Yesterday you stated that one of the problems that's going on in Haiti is people is waiting for another Tucson to appear. The question that I ask is, what is that mentality for people to believe that, and how do we get out of that mentality of waiting for somebody to come and save us?
Well, the whole Euro-Christian system condition us to that. Wait for the Messiah. When Jesus returns, everything will be fine, even though it's a mess right now. So we are being programmed continually to wait. Don't take action. Okay? The church that created the school, you do know that the schools, whatever schools you're going to, has been created. The system, the template was set up by the church. Churches are there to create fidel. How do you say people who go to church?
Infidel.
Huh?
Infidel?
No, for the
Faithful.
You know, those who are church followers. Followers. Okay. Church are there to create followers. But an educational system of a nation is supposed to create citizens for the nation. So the thing that the church has created and given to us as a school system is not one. It's just there to reinforce or increase the numbers of followers for the churches. So most people are just followers of the church, though we pretend to be Haitian, Jamaican, blah, 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 blah. Citizens defend the nation. We don't defend the church or the priest or the Vatican. We've not been educated as citizens.
And I think that's really important, even that point right there, because if we're talking about in the United States, one thing we stress on this network all the time is you need to learn the Bill of Rights, learn the Constitution, because whether we like it or not, that's our contract with this nation. And we're not upholding our end of the contract, and that's why we see the madness that we see. There's no checks and balances right now. So in any society, any culture that you're in, any country, nation that you're in, what are the checks and balances between you and whoever claims to be our government, overlords, rulers, etc., right? Learn the contract so you understand your responsibility. We have shirked our responsibility. We went to sleep at the wheel. I'm not going to go into depth about that right now, but learn in this country, learn the Bill of Rights. Know it. That's why police are allowed to violate people's rights, because they don't know their rights. Once you know your rights, then you know what you do once that line is crossed. And the line has been crossed. Brother man.
You could go to the next person. I forgot mine.
You forgot yours?
Yeah,
It's all right.
It'll come back.
When it comes back, just let us know. Yes.
I was thinking in the beginning you were talking about understanding words, and I realized that when you were saying nation, when this country was aboriginal and everybody in their respective lands, nation didn't mean the land, nation meant the people. And I think that that's something we could remember. I don't know if you wanted to think,
That's correct. The nation does not have to have land, okay? Israel didn't have land until 19 whatever.
48.
Thank you. Yeah, I should know it because it's the year I was born. So, right? So, yes. So the nation exists. It's a group of people with the same basic culture and aspiration. That's the nation. Now, the country is a territory with people and laws and blah, blah, blah in it. So we should be clear. But it's very important that we know when we're talking about what we're talking about. Yes, you can correct, sister. The nation does not have to have land. But once there is land, we tend to take them as synonymous. Nation, country.
Sir, please project your voice so the people in other countries can hear you.
All right. I could be a little bit revolutionary at times, so I had to think about the exact way that I want to mention this topic. But you just mentioned, for instance, Palestine, and I look at it, the correlation of the way how Christopher Colon came over to Quisqueya, Haiti, and tried to wipe out the Caribe, the Siboney, the Arawak, Taino, and the people had to go to war. And I like to study all type of revolutionary history and see how the people fought against colonization. And I see the exact same thing happening over in Gaza right now. I see the same thing happening in Lebanon right now, and I've known since 1999, where they publicized it, that area was to have a pipeline of oil. And that pipeline of oil had to remove the people from that land to make sure that it was established. So it was all about the colonizers taking the natural resources from an aboriginal people who was of the land, from the land before the people got there. And I look at the same situation of Haiti right now, and especially right now where it was publicized in 2012 that there was oil reserve, petroleum reserve, along with, they made the Black Panther
Uranium,
movie.
diamond, gold,
Exactly.
you name it, you got it. The richest piece of land in the Americas.
Exactly. So what do you say about the correlation between the Palestinian people and the Haitian people right now?
Well, it's not just the Palestinian and the Haitian. The same thing is going on in Nigeria, northern Nigeria. The same thing is going on in northern Ghana. The same thing is going on in the Congo. The same thing is going on it's all over.
Right.
Wherever there is wealth, the enslaver, your Christian enslaver's mentality is, all wealth on this planet belongs to me. It doesn't belong to whose feet it's under. And we have not yet educated ourselves to say, whatever is under my feet is mine.
Exactly.
We don't even have the thought. Okay? This banana, this mango, this water under the soil, whatever, under my feet is mine. You cannot come and take it. We have not developed that. Since we've gone through all these centuries of conditioning, we're not even aware most of the time what we've got. So, and that's why it's important for us not to look at it as, yeah, look what they're doing in IT. No. That's an error. Same thing that's going on in IT, they're doing it throughout the world. In fact, Jamaica has been in that situation a lot longer than IT. Barbados is in that situation. All the islands, the Caribbean islands, are in trouble, but we're dancing carnival. We think the world is a beautiful place. In the name of Jesus, we all brothers and sisters. We don't have to worry about anything. That's the problem. We must be serious. And to be serious, you have to know yourself. You have to know your inner self. Then you can understand. Everything you do, everything you say is important. But it must be you, your thoughts, not reciting what the church taught you. Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was going to say another problem we have.
Please project.
Another problem we have is your definition of wealth and worth and mine. You having two beautiful gold earrings. I can tell you now, as of 2012, I have nothing gold. I sold my da-da-da-da-da. For the white men to come in and rob, most of the time they're robbing us of things that they find worthy. I find family, people, the trees worthy. You're gonna tell me something under the ground? Look, it's shiny, I want it. I'm willing to kill you for it. That is really not my fault. They've raped the Native Americans, they've raped the black people for something that I had no clue was worthy. I have no clue what this rock is. Ooh, I will kill you for it. What is that? It's all over, but they want it because they don't have it where they're from.
Exactly.
They're coming in and they're killing people. I went to Alaska and I saw a grown man cry. Now, mind you, this was in 2023. He was crying about something that happened in 1600 because it's in his DNA. He said his ancestors told him to try to get the land back. He said they raped and killed us for diamonds. They were all over. They didn't know what it was. The white men came, they gave them something that they thought was worthy. They gave them blankets to protect them from the Alaskan cold. The men turn around, kill them. We want that rock or that shiny thing in the ground. We're giving you blankets to cover you up from the cold. It's brutal out here. They said we don't want that. We want that rock. And they kill them for it. What is worthy to you? You're telling me, oh, in Haiti, they're killing for the diamonds and the gems. And do they even know that's worthy? What do you do with that? How do we say, no, this is my diamond? What am I going to do with it? I don't know what to use it for.
I believe all of our people knew that the things we have are worth. We have a different attitude about it.
Okay.
For example, if we take the Arawaks have always known gold. And they've used gold, but they don't believe that you should extract the bones of the earth from the earth. In the same way, a lot of the people on the island did not farm. Why? They say the earth is our mother. We can't go digging into our mother's belly for food. No. So we go pick whatever is out there, and when we want something to grow, we just gently take earth and make mounds and put the seed in. But we will not take a knife and a hoe and a this and a that and dig into. It's just a different attitude.
I like that.
It's not that we were ignorant of gold, but we have a different relationship. The Incas use a lot of stones for medicine. So they know the value, but it wasn't about money, it wasn't about selling it. It was about the relationship that we developed with those stones. So that's what made, but of course the way he has always presented is that we were so stupid. We had no idea, the gold or the diamond or whatever. No, that's not true. We've always known, but we've made choices. For example, certain people like Arawak did not eat birds. They considered birds the cousins of humans. So they do not eat their cousins. But they do eat fish. because they have a different relationship to fish. Okay? So, me what I've come to understand is that every people in the world have certain things that they eat and certain things that are taboo. It's a way of protecting life. We don't go out to get everything, even you get in the gold mine until it's dry. You're gonna get, no.
Right?
The practice in Mali, in the empire of Mali, was that you would open a gold mine, take for a certain time, you take a certain quantity, then you shut it down to let it replenish itself, and then go open another one. So there was a different relationship with those things. And nobody was willing to kill for gold or diamond or anything else. So that's an exclusivity in the behavior of Euro-Christian. Willing to slaughter entire nations for a couple pieces of whatever.
Shekels.
Before I'm gonna get to you in a second, Sister Kafuni, something I wanted to kind of touch on again. The term Euro-Christian is a term I love. It's a term I learned from Mama Bayyinah, because we have to start being able to put people in their proper designation.
Yes.
And it's okay to say that. I mean, we can say the white man, this and that, but it's like, okay, the Euro-Christian, because that gives even it gives you a broader sense, and it includes the world view of who we're talking about. Last night in her talk, she was talking about how not distinguishing between the two, whether it's British, German, French, because they all do the same sick, twisted, you know what I'm saying? The Belgians, the Boers in South Africa, you know what I'm saying? They behave a certain way, and it's okay to put them in that designation in order for us so we don't play Jedi mind tricks with ourselves. That's the big thing, not playing mind tricks with ourselves. Well, the Germans did this in the 1940s, but the French, the French.
No, they're all the same.
You know, to me, it's all the same.
Facts.
So I just wanted to touch on that. And when we start to change how we're thinking about things, and again, killing that little Euro-Christian inside of us, it's okay. Let him go. Let him die. You know what I'm saying? The same way he did our ancestors, do the one in your mind, okay? We've all been colonized, and part of decolonizing and deprogramming is letting that little Euro-Christian man die inside of you.
Facts.
Sister in the
Yeah.
back.
I like to build on what you just said, because
And please project.
yes, that's how we wound up being Christians and Muslims and this and that, because it wasn't it was forced upon us. It's like, if you don't comply, well, I'm gonna kill your whole family.
Yes.
That's what kind of mindset is that? But I also wanted to say, and I always say this all the time, there's a couple of things that I would like to say. I say that we're not in 2024. That's the first thing. That's a mind trick. We're not in 2024. How can we be in 2024 when we're still bombing and killing people, but yet the technology is going further than humanity? So how can we be in 2024? I don't get it. I go according to the Ethiopian calendar, which is the real calendar of 13 months. So I know mentally I'm not in 2024 just by the different current events that's happening right now. We're supposed to be progressing, but we're really not. Some are progressing, but not the whole collective is progressing. And the point that you made about the Caribbean nations have to realize that they are part of the Americas instead of being separate. This is what's causing the division, because the Caribbean is over there and America's and South America is over here. The Caribbean is in the Americas. So I think if we start to understand that part, we can start having a unified effort, saying, okay, I might be in the Caribbean, but I'm still in the Americas, and these are still my brothers and sisters. Whether you're in South America, Central America, North America, the Caribbean, it is part of the continent, the North American continent. you know, and I think, you know, because of the different energies that are coming on the planet, there is something saying in scripture that thousands of careless Ethiopians will go down with the system because their mindset is that they don't believe that they're free, and they don't believe, they believe in the powers that should not be, in other words. And so when you look at all the unnatural things that are happening that are going against the earth, you know, that should give you an indicator of where we are, because when you look at Africa, what's happening right now, certain nations are coming together and kicking France out of their, you know, and shutting down their minds against, you know, for these westernized things. And we have to blame some of the leaders too, because for crumbs, they'll sell out their own people. And that's a vibration of lack. So I firmly know that things will change. It has to change, because if you look at Rome was, you know, it collapsed too.
There's
You know?
no doubt that things
Yeah.
are changing.
Yes,
it
not
has to
fast
change.
enough though, but
Well,
we have to do the quantum thing.
well, in order to do the quantum thing, we have to own our own self.
Yes,
If we don't own ourselves and tap into the cosmic knowledge in ourselves,
yes,
we can just talk about forever.
yes.
But let me say this, we did not create the division,
Right,
Caribbean, American.
right,
I, for one, used to always present myself. I am Bayyinah Bello, American, born in IT.
yes,
What does that mean? When you say she is a European, you're talking about her continental identity.
right,
And when she says I'm a European, we can ask her from which country. Then she'll say France or England
Right.
or Finland or whatever. Same is true for all continents. If I say I'm American, I've already told you the continent, my continental identity. Now, when I want to be specific, I
Right.
say Haitian.
right,
Okay? I want to be regional, I say Caribbean. It's not a problem.
right,
None of it is a problem. We have to be clear. We do not use this. It's not a question of division. It's a question of being specific.
right,
Okay? But the books we use, and for example, most people will say IT is in South America. No, IT is in North America.
mm-hmm,
It's above the equator. If we're talking geographically, everything above the equator is north, everything below the equator is
south,
south. So how can you put IT in there? You know? When they talk about North America, they say North America is the US and Canada.
right,
That's wrong. It's
exactly,
Mexico, US, and Canada.
right,
But we learn all these false information, so-called science in the science of geography. So that's what makes that's how they build the divisions.
right,
It's not our doing, but we fall into it like everything else that we're falling into. So we have to be aware.
yes,
And being American is not a national, that's a thief.
right,
American is everybody born in the continent of America. Brazilians are American.
right,
Argentinians are Americans. The United Statesmen can decide whatever they want to be called, but American belongs to all of us.
yes. Ashe, thank you.
Now, we got a comment or a question. Now, for anyone that needs to speak, please come up to the mic, because the audience, we have a whole audience listening right now, and they can't hear anybody in the audience,
Oh, wow.
in the live audience. So please come up to the mic and say your piece.
This is beautiful.
Yeah. You can make a line if you'd like to line up. Maybe line up on this side.
I'm really encouraged by all that you're speaking about. I have a question though. We were earlier talking about the situation in Palestine. Now, I'm aware, of course, that there were millions of Aboriginal people in this country before the expansion west that were genocided. And I'm looking with horror at what's happening in the Middle East. And even though we're talking about Euro-Christians, is there some deeper evil going on that we have to really contend with that is beyond a person's where they were born? Is this something that's going on from a realm that's not three-dimensional? Do we really
Yeah.
need to bring
There you
up our,
go.
because to me it looks like all that's happening on this planetary surface is that it has been about suppressing the magic and the power of melanated people. I mean, they take gold and they take diamonds, but that's only because they want to trade people for gold and diamonds. So I'm wondering if you have any thought about how we can really bring back those essential powers that our ancestors
Yes.
knew to protect us from what I would consider to be spirits, but
Yes,
not of
I.
our own.
Good question.
I believe that's what we've been talking all afternoon. Know yourself. You are a power being. You are a pure life power functioning inside a human body. You are fed of millennia of memories. You are armed with knowledge, strategies, and tactics, universal knowledge, strategies, and tactics. You are supported by your ancestors, aligned with your higher self. If you do not know who you are, even an ant can threaten you. So, there are many subjects I won't even touch. Because whenever they're doing this about a subject, oh my goodness, look at this, the situation here, the situation there, I turn away from it. I have nothing to say about it. Because I want to concentrate on building my life.
Yes.
I want to concentrate on being me, on cleansing myself
Yes.
from all the Euro-Christian
Ideology.
Programming.
Garbage.
that I have
Garbage,
picked
yes.
up from all the years in church and school.
Yes.
So my concentration is building Bayyinah. I believe that the day, just a small percentage of us, the children of Africa, Akibulam, Hama, whatever name we want to call it, just a small percentage come into the knowledge of self. We can deal with all kinds of threats with our eyes. When you come into your power, you don't need a stick, you don't need a gun.
Ashe.
Most of us are unaware. If I say the Battle of Adwa, how many people know the Battle of Adwa? Excellent. The Battle of Adwa is in Ethiopia. When Ethiopian was fighting against Italian who were trying to make Ethiopia their colony. They were as vicious as these Euro-Christians are usually. They were using chemicals and all kinds of things to destroy the Ethiopians. At some point, the Menelik II, the emperor, learned about Haiti's history and sent for a battalion of Haitians to come and participate in the battle. And General Jean-Baptiste from Haiti, from the north of Haiti, made the strategies for the Battle of Adwa. And that's the battle where we crush the Italian and their dream of a colony in Africa.
Yes.
Once we understand, and to me what is key in this, it's not about bragging about Haiti,
Right.
is that when the children of Africa on both sides of the Atlantic put their heads together, then they became particularly powerful. But let me tell you, the Ethiopians still had tigers and lions, battalions of them as part of the army. They had people who were trained, animals who were trained to obey the orders of their generals. Excuse me. So, to me, it's because we came together, that's what made us so powerful, that we were able to crush that. So, know yourself. Know that as a or you want to say children of Africa, children of Africa, children of whatever way you want to say, the planetary family is what I like to say. When the planetary family gathers, we are unstoppable.
Facts.
But as long as we ignore ourselves and we use their references, their this, their that, we are as weak as any cockroach could eat us. I'm sorry to be too long. Please.
And let me, before I go to you, let me comment on something, because Mama Bayyinah said something, right? How an ant, if we don't know ourselves, an ant can get us running. How many people, listen, I got sisters and everything. If there's a spider, Cameron, come get the spider.
Right.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Process what we're being told right now. Yes, there are grown adults who are running from cockroaches, spiders, ants, insects. It's all right if you don't like them. I'm not knocking anybody, but I'm saying, Mama Bayyinah is spitting right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, really process what we're being told right now, okay? And then just the other thing, I didn't know about that with Ottawa. Lions and tigers, battalion. I knew about Ottawa. I didn't know about that. You talking about the Black Panther movie. Imagine the Ottawa movie where you got lions eating up battalions, eating up the Roman Empire, who's trying to conquer Ethiopia, which is actually Africa, okay?
Right.
Who's making the movies, who's making the media that we're, consuming? Sister, please.
Mama Bayyinah was talking about breathing exercises, and I just know that people have a lot of static inside of them today, and they're not grounding with the earth a lot, So she spoke about in the winter you can ground by breathing exercises. My uncle taught me that when I was 16, but at the count of 8. And I would have to breathe in 8 seconds, which was a very long time. So in the home, you can also, I just want to add to it that we can use our plants to, I have a big rubber tree, I sit down with the tree, and I breathe with it. You understand? I breathe in the oxygen and I feed it back the carbon dioxide. And this is also oxygenating your brain cells, and your blood cells, and it opens you up. And one more grounding thing I need to say. When you go to the waters of creation, and you just sit down at the waters, you could be feeling crazy, but you go sit down at the waters, and the waters will release. And you don't got to stand in it, all you got to do is sit down near the water and watch the water and the sky. And when you leave there, your brain will be clear, you will be balanced out, and you will have new, fresh ideas. I just wanted to add my grounding mechanism.
Sister,
That was
you're
great.
over here, correct?
Yes, I
Please
am.
tell us your business real quick.
Okay, my name is Sister Bayyinah Herb. I've been out of commission for a few years. I've been injured. So I make tonics. I have over 15 tonics I make, from your eyes to your colon to urinary incontinence. And right now I make lemongrass ginger nerve pain cream. It got my life back. Okay, I got my life back. just this past 6 months, I literally I couldn't lift a bottle of water and do like this. So, I bought the lemongrass ginger nerve pain cream. I have to give you some of my gingerbread made with my love, this blueberry ginger with currants and organic love. Peace and love.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Seeds of that, seeds of that. Right.
Yes.
Hello, Philip.
So beautiful.
Awesome. So you spoke about obviously us getting the white man out of us, and that's something that I'm doing as well, especially with like me realizing that a lot of the white man perspective that's at least been passed down to me comes from generational curses that come from like previous generations that's been instilled into them. Another thing that you talked about was keeping the family close because of the necessity of everybody being, good together, and all that. So my question to you would be, while me personally, I'm healing these generational curses that are being passed down from the family, how long should I hold on to these people that I know they're not willing to get the white man perspective out of their head as much as I try to fight and try to get them to understand? When do I say enough is enough and I have to work on my journey?
Thank you.
The question.
Great question.
Number one, start by removing that language. Generational curse.
Ah,
We have no such thing. We didn't do no genocide. We didn't slaughter people on 5 continents. So if somebody got generational curse,
it's them.
it's not us. So please, don't even put that on yourself. You do not have generational curse. Yes, we have problems. We have gone through centuries of being used, abused, tortured, etc., etc. And the bottom line is, through this process, we lost the knowledge of self.
Yes.
And gained fear. And gained fear. Fear
Yeah.
is the number one thing.
Having lost the knowledge of self, then the work that we need to do, to regain what we have lost. We don't need to put any epithet on it, generational curse and stuff like that. No. Even this language.
Yes.
See, there are many words I do not use. One of your powers is your word. If you're constantly talking about what you don't have and you have this, that, you're building it, you're giving it energy.
Yes.
Use your mouth to say the things you want.
Ashe.
Use your mouth to call that which you want. If we sit down and make lists, and that's part of the conditioning that their church and school has given us. Yeah? We've gone into churches full of white saints, white God,
Talk about
white da-da-da-da-da. So, when we look at ourselves in the mirror, who are we looking at?
Someone who's not represented by
We're
God. You're
not
not
looking
loved by
at a
God.
child of God.
No.
So the conditioning is there. We can hear a black man saying, I never go out with that sister, she's too dark.
Yeah.
I'd never go out with a sister saying, I'm never going out with this brother, he's too dark. These are elements of conditioning. And conditioning takes the place of knowledge of self. As you take it's not vaccine, it's
Antidote.
no. When you take something to cleanse yourself.
Antibiotics, detox,
No, right, medicine. You said the word.
detoxification.
Yeah, we can say that, but there's a more
X-Lax?
excellent. Okay, that's a brand.
Right.
But things that cleanse you out.
Laxative.
Laxative, thank you.
Yeah.
Laxative. We can take mental laxative
Ah,
to cleanse the garbage in our heads. And you see, we can't be ourselves and somebody else simultaneously. Already ourselves is a lot of people. And now we have a lot of their people.
right?
So we have to cleanse ourselves. Take the laxative. Remove. You see, for you went to school. All the references you use, whatever field you're working in, none of it was a black person.
Facts.
You did philosophy, there was no black man there.
Facts.
And even if there was a black man, you don't know that he's black.
Right?
You were taught, you were made to believe that he was. You take science, you take math, you take whatever. So all of that has reinforced in you
Right.
that God is white. Everything in your studies, your books, your everything. We know that even when they have you repeat in all their books, Edison created the light, the bulb light.
Right.
The light bulb, thank you.
Yeah.
We know it's not true. about benzene.
Exactly.
Why is it they don't want you to know? So we have to understand there's a cleansing that we
Yes.
must do. We must take the mental laxative so that our mind, and that while we do this, we take some of that medicine. Books written for us, by us, for us to grow. And as we start having, you talk about electricity, you have plenty of black references. You talk
Exactly.
about philosophy, you have plenty of references. You talk about history, you have plenty of, that will build you and remove that hidden concept that white is God, black is not. Then you have place, as you remove the garbage, you have plenty of space to put in the right information. The information that will enable you to grow within yourself and empower you to decide how you want the world to go. Power is greater than force.
Right.
Everything they do on this planet is done by force, lies, tricks.
Mm.
So if you develop your own self and assume it,
You'll be able to
you can erase force like that.
Facts.
Don't put words like okay. Thank you.
I think.
You got something
Wait.
wrong?
Yeah, but I think he was at before.
I want to say one thing real quick. There was a movie back in the 90s called Higher Learning. And I got you, brother. Give me one moment. There was a movie called Higher Learning, especially for my young bucks, right? At the end of that movie, the last thing in that movie, it said unlearn. Some of y'all remember that, right?
Right.
And I was the type of kid, I said, I wonder what that means. I didn't know what it meant. I went to the dictionary to go find unlearn, and I couldn't find it in there. And I think for me, that was part of the beginning of my journey, you know? And so I'm saying to us, just like Mama Bayyinah said, we have to unlearn. We have to
Facts.
unlearn, okay? That mental laxative, that psycho-spiritual laxative, get the garbage out and put in soul food. My brother.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
This is for the audience too. We got people listening on the radio.
Yeah, I don't think it because yesterday, she said so. I speak French, but French and Creole,
It's okay. Take your time, brother.
Speak your language, brother.
So yesterday, she rolled the flag of baby on the table. She said, I dislike that flag, something like this. So I'm Tam. So I'm an anthropologist and comedian and writer. My question, so before, I'm very appreciative to her as Asian, and we do a good job in that community. So my question are, which entity do you think what now will dominate Haiti? And what do you think about the system of education of Haiti, like the FIC? Where is, where, and what do you think about the agriculture of Haiti? And what do you think about the which entity so who was work with the wife of Toussaint Louverture and Jacques Ladisari? So which entity who was fight with them?
That's about a half dozen questions. Let's see if I can do justice to your questions. Okay, I think the first thing you asked about educational system. We don't have an educational system. You already said FIC, Euro-Christian garbage. That's what we got. So we don't need to say more about it. The next question about agriculture. We already said from the beginning, if you are not free, you cannot take care of your health. And agriculture is the very first element to health.
Yes.
You don't eat for your mouth. You eat to stay healthy or to regain health. Every plant is medicine.
Yes.
So if you cannot determine your agriculture, you're not free. So you can't determine your agriculture, you cannot be healthy. You cannot be prosperous. So the system that is in, no matter what you touch, it is an imposed system that is in Haiti today. Even when they claim they're doing election is done how? Well, they tell the people there's election. People will walk 8 hours to go to vote someplace. People will line up at 4 a.m. to 6 p.m. to wait to have a chance to vote maybe. Then some men will come start shooting. Then some people will come and steal their urns and, whole junk.
Chaos.
It doesn't really matter because in the end, Washington, D.C., Paris will say, here's the president. The whole thing is a theater, has nothing to do. And we saw this more vividly in 2016.
Sweet Mickey.
When the electoral board announced that they will give the results tonight at 8, let's say. And then at 6:30, the American ambassador announced who was president. The results of the election. So it's a joke. So we have to be for real. You cannot correct something if you don't clearly understand what it is.
Facts.
If we are thinking as Haitians that, Haitians are not practicing democracy, we didn't respect the law of democracy, that's not the problem.
Interference.
We have to deal with 4 elements. Freedom. Do you have a system that is an educational system built for you, by you, in your collective good interest? No, then I'm not free. All the rest will be imposed. The agriculture is imposed. Why the minimum salary in Haiti is 70 cents or 80 cents?
Crazy.
Every time the Congress start to talk about increasing the salary to $1.10, the American ambassador comes down to Congress and says, no, you can't do that. And that's on television. It's not like I'm telling you some side story. Okay? We have sat on TV and look at them there, saying, no, because then this company and that company will have less profit. So the first thing we need to fight for in all of our countries, freedom. Even if we call an independent country, we must get that joke out of the way and fight for freedom. That's number 1.
My brother.
The wife of Toussaint Louverture, the entity, so let me say it in Creole, qui égrégore, qui a dominé Haïti, égrégore.
I don't know.
So yeah,
Mpa konen mpa ka di ki e gwo kap domine. Si étranger a décidé tout bagay an dan peyi